Hi everyone, Danielle Salber here from Boxing Therapy, and this video is all about stress and anxiety and pressure. And something I've been thinking a lot about is we don't like feeling these feelings. And a lot of times we say, hey, they're downright bad. But guess what? All of our feelings are there to help us understand what we need, what we want, what's going to be our true expression of ourself. So when we feel stressed, when we feel pressured, that's our body's way of saying, hey, there's some action that might be taken. There's some focus that you deserve to put on here because something is happening in your environment that is stressing you out. Now, hey, to me, that's a pretty darn good thing that our bodies have a way of saying, hey, I don't like what's going on, let's change it. So what happens is often we find these ways that help protect us from stress in earlier environments, and then we kind of get used to them. So let's say whenever we feel stress as a kid, it's like, great, I'm going to go and run away and play with someone else. So we might learn when stress comes in our body, go and pivot and do something else, and great, we don't get to feel the stress anymore. Now this can work, and we can feel better, but what happens sometimes is that we do not learn that our stress is there to say what we need. So it feels scary then later on in life when stress comes in our body and we're like, uh-oh, I might have to listen to this to figure something out. So for a few moments, I want to invite us to allow our bodies, to allow our beings to feel a little bit of stress, a little bit of pressure, and to invite it and to know that it's not good, it's not bad, it simply is, and it's our body's way of making sense of what we need and what's around us in the world. So for a moment, I want to invite you from a very strong place. We're going to get into a ready stance. We're going to think of something that stresses us out, and we're going to allow the fight, flight, and freeze systems to let it move through our systems, and then we're going to shake it out. So I invite you to come and try this out with me. Get to know your own pressure, your own stress a little bit more. So together with me, I invite you to come into a ready stance, a beautiful, strong, ready stance where the ground and the gravity is supporting you. I invite you to push down. Just push down into the ground. Beautiful. Now, we're going to bring up these beautiful hands because guess what? Your hands, they are what allow you to take action. So here we go. We have our protective stance here. Now, in this stance, we are actually in our evolutionary crisis systems way of saying, I'm safe. Because here, check this out. I can fight, right? I can flight, I can run away, and I can freeze in a way that allows me to be alert. Not freeze in a way that's deer in headlights, and that can be dangerous. So here we are in this system, kind of very comfortable way of switching, and I want to invite us to imagine something that is stressing us out. Now, when we do these exercises, I ask, we don't take the most stressful thing, because when we learn a new skill, we don't want to pick the hardest, but something that's stressing you out. Maybe there's a job interview coming up. Maybe there's a test to take. I invite you to have that in your body right now. Think about what's there, what's stressing you out. Maybe you're meeting someone for the first time. Let your mind go to what thoughts, what are the thinking parts of this stress? What are you worried about? Just let it be for a moment. Beautiful. Now I want to invite you to, for a moment, feel the sensations in your body. Now sometimes it's hard to just imagine it and feel it, and if you're not feeling it, that's okay. Let the thoughts stay there. But if you are able to feel what this stress feels like, I invite you right now to feel the sensations. Maybe there's a tightness here. Maybe there's here a little bit of a churning. Maybe you can feel a little bit of your hands shaking. There are very many stress responses, and they are all normal. I invite us to feel it for a moment. Beautiful. Now, while this is in our body, let's go through these crisis systems, fight, flight, and freeze, and let the stress move with it. So, for a moment, let's just bounce in that ready stance and get ready for the fight part. We are going to allow it to come out. Here we go. Back and forth. We're going to throw out these beautiful palms. Now, let's just breathe. Let it out. Beautiful. Now, as we're doing this, I'm reminding us that sometimes our pressure needs a little fight in us to come out, right? A little bit of our passion and what's important to us and what's worth fighting for. Beautiful. Now, our next one is the flight. So I want to invite us to do some really cool high knees for this one. So together with me, we're going to kind of run, but in place. And the way it gets really hard and really fun is by letting your knees come straight up. Beautiful. There we go. Now, we can imagine ourselves running. Maybe we're running away from this stress for a moment. Maybe we just need a quiet space to catch our breath. Let's keep running. Beautiful. And right down to our last one, this freeze mode, okay? Now, super important when we're pausing, that we're letting our body know that our autonomic nervous system doesn't need to go freeze. We can pause. We can choose to freeze. So it's in this position that I invite you to join me for a warrior's breath. It's going to invite our vagus nerve to send calming signals. So we take 2 breaths in, and then we're going to let it out after in a nice kind of 2 out. So here we go together with me. I invite you to breathe in. Here we go. And in again. Beautiful. Let's let it out. Let's do that again to get the fresh oxygen. And in again. And here we go. Beautiful. Now I invite us, this might look awfully silly, and if you're around other people, great. The sillier you look, the sillier you invite them to allow their body to do. So together with me, I invite you just to shake it out. Shake it out. Now, you know what, right now, that's a beautiful thing to say. We know people all around the world are going to see Taylor Swift. I love it. Let's just shake it out. Beautiful. There we go. Now, I think that it's very important to mention that all animals, they deserve a way to shake out the stress. Shake it out. Somehow, as humans, we've trained ourselves to be very controlled. Oh, we're feeling stressed. Let's walk around. Totally controlled, right? No, we need to shake it out after something like this. All right, that's probably enough shaking it out. Now, to close this little activity, I want to invite us for a moment to think again about that stress. Take a moment. Let the thoughts come up again. What words are attached to these worries? And for a moment, invite yourself to imagine it and let it be. And again, feel your body. Feel the sensations, and let's take a deep breath in together, and 1 out. For right now, I want to let all of us know stress and pressure and even anxiety is okay, and our bodies are allowed to feel it and let us know as a whole being how to take action and how to be your best self within the situations that are pressurizing. So our blessing is to be able to use this ability, shake things out, and let ourselves be our truest, fullest sense with our feelings.